it was really about doing something that was thought-provoking and I think was honest, something that, could potentially go on around us in everyday life. You might have the Albert Crook, the older man down your street. You might have the younger girl, Charlie, in the end of the road, on the street. So, it's something that everybody can see, but hopefully by watching the film, they can then be more aware of it, I think. So I was in talks with Phil Davis, the writer, sort of in January time last year, 2017. And we were in talks and we were saying, what do we want to do? I had some ideas and things like that, and I sort of came back to him and we sort of collaborated, and then he wrote some bits and then came back with some drafts, and then we went backwards and forwards, and then finally by, I suppose, July, we had the final script. So it's been a long process, but we got there. Me and Tom had always toyed with the idea of doing something a step up. We'd done a couple of little short films and things like that, but we wanted to do something that was bigger, better, and push ourselves. And I think for me, I like to be professional. I think there's no excuse for, oh, we're young, we can, just get away with it, just do it like that. It doesn't matter. But I think it's important to start as we mean to go on. To start professional and carry it forward. And I think that was important to, give the actors a professional experience, and for us to learn through a professional experience to create a professional film, hopefully. There were a lot of challenging things. Finding a location was really tricky, and then eventually we found the one that was right on our doorstep, so lucky there. And I think just the general challenges of bringing the story to life. I think, Phil had written a really nice script, and it would have been a shame not to have been able to create something really nice from that. I think it was about August time. We began the casting process with 2 days of auditions, and we saw a lot of people, and eventually we found our Charlie from that, but it was a little bit trickier finding our Albert. But amazingly, a couple of weeks later, we found Paul Dewdney, who was, he was amazing to work with, and he taught us a lot as well, and that was important for us, I think, to learn something from others.
I think even though we were working with professionals and everything, they were so sort of down to earth, and they were really friendly and helpful to us. I don't really know what I was expecting, but they were just, so helpful, so nice to us, even though I was 16 at the time, so, they treated us like anyone else, and like we knew what we were doing, even if we didn't at times. So I think that was really nice. It just gave us a bit of confidence.
The favourite part of the process was definitely on shoot. Finally, after, I think it was almost like after a year of pre-planning and working to this stage, we finally got there with the actors in the room that was just perfect. The set was just perfect for it. And just seeing it all slowly come together, and working with Tom and making sure that all the shots were moving well and things like that. And that was when it sort of all came together, and I was like, that was the best moment, I think.
Probably my favourite part was getting to use the gimbal and install the equipment, because I would never be able to afford that normally. So it was nice being able to use such high-end gear to make such a nice-looking film. It was a good experience.
There was a lot of focus on the visuals, and we wanted to make sure that the visuals told a story as well.
We wanted it to look quite dull and dark and sort of gritty, because they're both in sort of a dark place, so we wanted it to look natural as well, quite realistic.
I think as an actor I wanted to give the actors an experience that they'd find comforting and that they'd enjoy. Because I'd sort of imagine myself in that position, and sort of how would I like to be taking on this journey. So I think, I think it's a bit of both, but definitely we had a big focus on the visuals, and Tom did a great job of that. Having to deviate between different things, especially boom operating, I didn't realise how difficult it was going to be. It's so technical with just a little box on your side, but making sure it's in the right place and everything. But I found it hard because I felt like it distracted a little bit from my direction, because I was concentrating on doing a lot of the boom operation, and it's just one of those things as a young filmmaker. You have a smaller team, and it's it's nice, but that means your workload is a lot bigger.
Yeah, so editing it was long, but I think it was quite satisfying at the same time, just sort of piecing everything together, sort of having it all come together at the end. All the work we'd done, all the different areas from everyone, just putting it all into one thing. I felt quite good, and when I finished it, played it for the last time, it was like, felt really good to see it all there as one thing.
I think I always wanted to create a story that people can relate to. You know, action thrillers are great and blood, guts and gore is great, but you know, not everyone connects to that in the same way, whereas I want to find a story that everyone connects to and everyone finds a common ground in. And also I think, you know, having experience in theatre, I want to create like a rehearsal journey and a rapport between like the company, and I think it's important to have a unit, a cast and crew that are united, so you know, you create a whole journey, not just the narrative journey, but the you know, the friendship journey sort of thing that you take on board. I learnt how much is required to be a filmmaker, and how hard things can be sometimes, and how much you have to put into things, and how long a process can be as well. You know, it's not just a quick turnaround. You know, it's been going on for about 1.5 years now, from story to final screening. So I think that's probably the most.
I learned sort of what it's like to be on a sort of real film set, just because we were working with sort of professionals. So it was really great to hear what they had to say and about their past experiences, and that taught us a lot about the way it's done in the industry.
Filmmaking is just like a free creative process, and I suppose by being your own filmmaker and working with other like-minded people, you just sort of do what you like. You make the stories that you like, and you can, I don't know, you can tell stories, you can make journeys, and hopefully display a message, perhaps. That's what I wanted to do, especially with Unforgettable.
I think I'm just proud that we did it, really. It all came together, it all worked out how we wanted it to, and you know, we've got a nice finished piece to show people. I think it's, you know, it's good, yeah.
I'll be proud when it all comes together and to know that it's ours, and especially the fact that the script's original, the music's original. You know, we came up with all the direction, all the cinematography. You know, I think that will make us all proud. And that'll be a really nice thing when that all comes together and we can look at it and yeah, be proud of it. I think that'll be the big moment.